Guys, there are so many results this weekend, it's actually insane, right? Because big tournaments happening again, WGP Tokyo, heaps of results. Also, lots of VGCS is happening, so we can go through so much. It looks like set 4 is actually looking very, very nice for Overdress, and I mean, a lot of stuff that's like unexpected, you know? So let's just jump right in, right? First off, we have the WGP stuff. We're gonna go through WGP Tokyo. There's 3 blocks. I've tried to dig up as much as I could on the Twitters and stuff. There'll probably be more released later, and they'll probably, like, I guess the main website will update the standings or the deck lists on the main site, like probably like Tuesday or something like that, because they want to probably show it off on the Tuesday stream. But let's take a look at the winners and some of the other stuff that I was able to dig up. So first, in the A block slot, the winner was actually Meteor World. So Meteor World has been popular a bit, right? We've been seeing it, you know, being talked about, but Meteor World gets like more buffs going into set 4, right? Because you've got big meteor. And you're still running that old ride line, but you have like just better cards, you know, better cards that can do better things, right? Better things. But the big thing is you have 5 meteors, 4 big meteors. Now with the big meteor, you can easily hit like the 5 meteor combo very, very often. Before, when you were playing this deck, you were going, yeah, 3 meteors is good enough. Unless I have a really slow game, I might hit the 5. But now you're just 5ing every single game. And yeah, that's how life is like now. So pretty interesting. This went undefeated in A block, just won everything. So it shows that it's a pretty good list, right? Pretty good list. But then there's an interesting one here. Second place was actually Barrow Magnus. So this is from Amon something. But yeah, here's the Barrow Magnus list. This is kind of unexpected. We were expecting like Pure Lights, expecting like, I don't know, Nirvanas, Bruces, but Barrow Magnus turning up the gears. It's pretty interesting. As we can see here, this is kind of a list that is kind of been figured out, I guess, you know, in set 3, but just got some nice upgrades that really push it over the top. So I guess the 2 main cards that we're seeing here is just this new grade 2 Chagra. So when this is placed on the rearguard circle, if your soul has the following, you do the effect. So you have 7 or higher soul, you counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, and you grab a card from your soul and add it to hand in the soul charge 1. So it's basically like a hand filter. And then when it's 13 or higher for this turn, your front row gets plus 5k. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's definitely one of the better cards released. But he's also playing the brainwash Swaler. And this is just the thing that makes your columns hit huge powers and just, you know, pushes more damage in. But the rest of it is just what we've been having before. I guess he's running a lot of draws, but you know, that's kind of normal in Barrow Magnus. And yeah, it's just a good solid deck. It hits 15 soul pretty easily now without like much hurting. And even if it doesn't, because of the brainwash, you're hitting big damage anyway, or big power. So it just seems like a nice solid deck. So pretty cool. And then we have this is 4th place, I think. Oh no, this is 3rd place. We have Show with just a Bruce list. This is just looks like a straight up old Bruce list. You know, old Bruce still doing work because, you know, I think like theoretically speaking, you still have Leonard, you still hit high power lines. So why do you need any of the new cards? That's just it. Right, full blast hits 10k. Why do you need any of the? You don't, right? It's just functioning very fine by itself. So if you have a current set 3 Bruce deck, you don't really need to do anything. You know, you're just fine. Just going fine. So yeah, that's pretty nice, pretty cool. And then moving on, we have another one here. This is a Bav Saga list that came in 4th place, which is pretty interesting. We see some of like running 4 spears, so kind of correct, right? You know, spear is pretty good. 4 spear, 2 sword, 1 shield, and 1 gun. Running 4 of the grade 3 that lets you do another equip as well. So yeah, and he's got 4 trick moon there. 4 trick moon, nice. Because I was just, where's the trick moon? But it's just the glare. It's like a glare moon. And then there's a bunch of 2s. I don't really know what this 2 is. Don't really know what this 2. I assume it's like a 15k beat or something that hits something. This one is the discarded arms to draw a card. But yeah, just rush fast, beat fast, equip fast, and then you can like just rush them down really, really quickly. This came fourth in A block. All right, moving on to B block. You can see here we got a Nirvana. So this is actually Maha Nirvana. So this is a new Nirvana build. Pretty interesting that he's still running 2 urges. You know, 2 urges are still in play. I guess like when you think about Urja, it's still, you know, it's still a 20k beater. It still has 15k shield. If you get it off on your turn, your normal Nirvana turn, it's good. If you don't, well, it is what it is. It's still okay. He's only running 3 Trickstar, which is pretty interesting, and only 1 old Nirvana. So he's just going straight into the new Nirvana. And then from there, you know, you still got your arcs. He's running Expector as well, 3 of the Expector. Which is quite interesting. I'm guessing this could be pretty good in the like pure light matchup maybe. So yeah, because Esmeralda will suck in everything, you can ride an Expector over it and then just pop for huge damage. And then they don't get like a 2 billion prison. But yeah, I guess it could be good. I guess it could be good. And then we see him run some of the new grade 1s here. This is very good. And then just the new draws, pretty nice. So overall, pretty cool Nirvana list. And then next we have is a Magnolia list. This went like, I think top four in B block. And I think Magnolia is actually surprisingly very popular. And there's been a bunch of cool techs in the build, I guess. Running 3 of the old Magnolia, but you've got the Fox, right? You got the new is it a cheetah? Yeah. Running the countercharge Soul in grade 2, which is pretty nice. He's not running any like recursion, it seems. So once things are lost, they're just lost forever, and he's running just the OG ride line. But you know, you can probably just slam any card down, and that can just turn into a hit. So I guess it's not too bad. You don't need to target any specific cards. We don't see any of the Gebreg, right? Which is okay. That's cool. We have some of the grade 1s, new grade 1s. I think it's like 5k power for every attack that is done. So yeah, I guess like it hits big. I guess it hits big. Yeah, this is a pretty cool Magnolia list. I think we're gonna see a few more though. So spoilers, right? And then finally, we see our first pure light list, and this is in the top 8 for B block. And we can see here it's I guess it's interesting that he's only running 1 of the all snow, but you know, because you want to put in good cards, and there's so many actually good cards and good value cards in the deck. You just want to find ways to cut slot, right? So you want the new grade 1 that like copies itself. He's still running Chevelstad because, you know, it's technically still CB1, prison something and draw. But he's got the 2 grade 2s. He's got the Macarite and the, I think, spring, right? And this just kind of helps you get more cards in prison without, you know, needing any big commitments in terms of counterblast resource. And in terms of spring, you don't need, you know, soul blast resource, which is pretty big. And kind of helps deck out, I guess, but I think the game plan now with Pure Light is you're not going for any sort of deck out game, you're just going to hit massively hard and fast. Interestingly, he's not running any sort of cards that stop your opponent from wanting to call things from prison. Either that's just like, you know, too low value now, or it's just, you know, you don't really care because you're just prisoning so much stuff. And you don't have deck slot for it, right? And it's kind of interesting. You cut the fronts for 3 of the new draw, but I guess you can kind of say that because you're already getting so much power from the Pure Light, you don't really need the front. And sure, you get extra defense, but technically, like prison is one of the bulkiest decks in the entire metagame, so you kind of just don't need that extra bulk in the front. You can just take it for the draw. So I think it's pretty interesting take on Pure Light. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna see some more, which I think we definitely are. Next we go to C block, and we can now see in C block we have our first new Bruce, right? New Bruce. Totally not running any of, well, he's only running 1 of the old Bruce. Went straight to the 4 of the new Bruce. I like the new card he's running here, which is just a Ryle, I think. So when it's placed on the Reguard, so you can counterblast 1, it gets 5k, and if you're in Final Rush, you soul charge 2, and then call a card from your soul out into an empty rearguard circle. So it kind of makes field. Its soul charge is like 1 extra. Of course, it's a CB1, which kind of sucks. because you have a chance of getting CB denied. But we also got the Brainwash Swallow as well that can, like, you know, get big amounts of power. So maybe like the power lines are still pretty good. And he's also got the card that everyone's been talking about, which is, I think it's Brian, right? Brian, just to give you a Vanguard crit and get 5k at front row. He's still running, it's actually running Pandemonium Tags, which is, it's like a very counterblast heavy kind of deck now. I'm not sure how much I like it, because I feel like against like the good players, they will just kind of try and deny you as much as possible and just like slow your plays, because, you know, everything kind of needs counterblast, and then your Bruce also needs counterblast to do the restand. So unless you're not really caring about that anymore, which you might not, you might just not care, right? You go, okay, that's fine. I still get triple drive. My side column hits big, so maybe, you know, if I get the restand, that's great. If I don't, well, I still have like pressure, right, which can kind of pass. So I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. I'd like to see how these builds evolve, for sure. But yeah, came first with New Bruce. Right, New Bruce. Next we have is a third place Seraph Snow deck, and this one is running like 4 of the old Seraph Snow, but only 3 of the new Pure Light. So I'm guessing I guess it's kind of strange. Maybe he likes the Persona, but I feel like just Pure Light is just like better, like better in every single way. Yeah, maybe just couldn't afford the last Pure Light, but I don't know, if you afford it, if you paid a lot of money for, you know, DSR Seraph Snows, I'd be kind of hesitant to go into the new Pure Light, to be fair, right? To be fair, come on, right? Come on. But yeah, no, he's still running the full-on Chelsea, still got the bug motor as well. So maybe there could be some more evolutions for the deck, but again, it's still the first week. And this is you got third. You got third in C Block, so he still did pretty well. But I think that is all, right? So if you want to actually look at the whole list, we got this from Miltais as well, and DF also translated the whole thing. But yeah, so in the A block, WGPs and the A blocks got, like, first place was Nurtwing, we saw that. Second place was Baron Magnus, right? Third place was Bruce, and fourth was Buff Saga. So we just didn't see the Bruce, I don't think. In the B block, we saw Nirvana, and there was a Bruce and another Baron Magnus. So Baron Magnus actually doing like two tops in WGP. So this is actually very interesting to see. I want to see how the Baron Magnus lists have kind of evolved. Because, you know, there's always been a thing, you know, JP, like real tournament big tournament Baron Magnus is pretty much not until very recently. So there's got to be something that's really changed the game up a bit, right? And then fourth place, you had Aurora, right? Aurora, right? And then in C block, in first place, we said Bruce. In second place was Phantom Blast the Dragon, right? Phantom Blaster? I don't know, man. Like, Phantom Blaster seems weird. Right, I really want to see this. I haven't been able to pick it up. I've been trying to find it, but I want to see this list as well. Third place was Seraph Snow, and then fourth was actually another Baron Magnus. So Baron Magnus are actually doing well in every single block in WGP. So pretty interesting. I want to see more results, and we'll probably get more soon, right? And then next there was a V standard tournament as well for WGP, and first place was just a nice old Genesis list. It looks nice, it looks beautiful, lots of bling, lots of good stuff. So yeah, that's cool. And then second was Kyon playing it went 7-1, came second place with Gold Paladin, Gerget. So I was like, man, Spectral, but it's actually Gerget. Right, still doing work. And then lastly here we have a third place Gabriel list. And it's slightly different from the Uzume build. It's got some nice text. They've been like lowering down Sariel, so I think this is probably the play. Also, the ones are a bit different, but yeah, pretty interesting. Let's move on to the unofficial tournaments this time, right? There's also a lot of VGCSs we want to look at, and we always look at them. So Hurricane VGCS, this one is, I think, a team tournament. First place team, right, had Pure Light. So finally we see more Pure Light. This is running only one Seraph Snow, right? One Seraph Snow. This is just going straight into the Pure Light build. But then he's able to put like Rouges, Mecha Rides, and Cello Starts, and Bug Motors. The Bug Motor is pretty big, right? It's just like I think a lot of people are thinking of taking it out because after a certain period of time, you just don't really need it. But it's interesting to see people still keep it in. So that's pretty cool. They also brought Nirvana, right? Nirvana. So this is only running 2 of the Esmeralda, but it's actually going 4 Expector, 4 Valley End. I guess he's running the on overdress you draw a card kind of thing. So he's gonna be overdressing for days, right? Overdressing for days. So interesting to see this list kind of popping out somewhere, you know. But I guess in Maha Nirvana as well, you can like overdress everything and like still hit power. You have triple drive. Everything's going on. If you lose a card, you know, Esperalda comes and gets it. Yeah, I think it seems pretty funny. He's only running three tricksters though, and he's running one of the tricksters as a starter. So just going right there, right? And then lastly, got a Magnolia list, and this Magnolia seems pretty cool. It's kind of similar to what we saw before, like in the WGP list. Actually, very similar. Right, we have the core here. We've got got maxed out Magnolias both. Right, this is kind of a trend. I've also got the new cheetah. I don't know, the new cat feline looking thing, right? That calls itself out. Also the Inlet Dragon, grade 3, and then the Fox, and the Gynosera, and then plays the grade 2 countercharge, soul charge kind of card. So it just got everything. It still has everything in the list. So yeah, is this just have they figured out, you know, Magnolia already? I think it'd be pretty interesting to see. All right, and then we got this is second place. We got another Pure Light again. This guy is running three Seraph Snows. Yeah, actually 3 Seraph Snows. Yeah, you know, Rouge. The rest of it is pretty similar. He's actually put in 2 turquoise, which is pretty interesting. He's running 3 of the this order, if I recall correctly, prisons all of the back row. So I'm not sure how much I like that, because it's very dependent on how much your opponent commits to the field. But it's also like I think it's a Soul Blast 2 as well. I don't think the Soul Blast 2 really matters, because you get so much soul with prison anyway. But I guess the one part where I'm afraid of is it's an order. It's field related. You already like prison so many things from the field. I just don't feel it's really that needed, right? So I'm not sure. I have to think about this. I was looking at it when I was building decks. I was looking at it. Right? I was going, okay, I want to try new things. Right? I want to try new things. But do I really need to try this, right? Do I really need to try this? Because, you know, the first thing when your opponent plays against a Seraph Snow list, is there going to be... I have to be really careful what I put on the field. Because if I'm not careful, I'm just going to lose the game, right? I'm just going to lose the game. So they'll generally try to play around a lot of your things. And if they don't, you just win the game. So I can't really find, you know, the correct slot for it, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is just my thoughts on that. But also we have just another card here. He's running 3 of this older DB2 set 2 card. So just when it comes into play, you pick a card from your prison. Well, no, if you have 5 or more of your opponent's cards in your prison, you can countercharge or soul charge 3. So countercharge 1 or soul charge 3. So it's just some nice resource. Getting more resources. If you need soul, you get soul. If you need countercharge, you get countercharge, right? But overall, I'm not sure. Like you used to run booming. I guess this just comes into play and does it, and you hit that 5 resource count pretty quickly now. So it's not really much of an issue. That was the only thing holding the card back before. But nowadays, right, life is good. When you have Pure Light, life is good. So you don't really have to worry about that. So yeah, that is pretty nice. Good to see. Talked a lot about Pure Light actually. I love the deck. In case you guys didn't, I like the deck, guys. I like the deck. Then second we have is a Stoicheia. Again, we're seeing just a lot of the stuff that we've seen before in a lot of the others, except this guy ran some Gabregs. He's like cut a Gynosera, got some grade 2s. Right, only running three Magnolias. So yeah, he's able to find some space to put in the Gabregs, which is pretty nice. And then lastly, we have we've got a Nirvana list, right? Nirvana list. And wow, he's also running that order, right? The overdress order. So is this the new kind of deck, right? We've been seeing it a few times. It's crazy, pretty crazy. All right, moving on, we have another tournament as well, right? So this is the which one was it? Hiroshima tournament, Hiroshima Singles tournament. And we can see that in the Hiroshima tournament, we have a Barrow Magnus list again, right? Again. So definitely something is going well, right? Something is doing right. We're seeing the Brainwash Brainwash Man and doing work, right? You plop it in. We got the grade 2 again. This guy was able to take in 2 Gormans. So, okay, right? The list, a lot of it was already kind of figured out. And again, right, just the 2 new cards really adding a lot of impact to the deck and just bring it to the tops, right? To the tops. Second place, we had Prison, right? And he's also got the 2 turquoise, right? 2 turquoise. How many? Only 1 Seraph Snow, right? Going straight into the Pure Light. And they're still running the Bug Motors, but otherwise the rest of the list is kind of the same. He's only got 2 turquoise, all right? And then next we have in third place, we have a Bastion Prime. So finally we see a Bastion Prime list. This one is just running, you know, straight up fronts and crits. But he's running a bunch of new stuff, which is pretty interesting. No rag rails. No rag rails is kind of, I want to say cool. I don't want to say interesting, because interesting is means a lot of things nowadays. It's just surprising, I guess. Because, you know, we saw the prices of rag rails spike. We're going, wow, rag rail, it's gonna be the thing, right? It's gonna be the thing. But sort of like, well, this is the only list we've seen. So, I mean, we could be jumping to conclusions. It might not be the thing yet, but it could be the thing in the future. Just like how Bastion always kind of evolves slowly. But he's actually running the Soul Blast 2 draw. I still got the Dark Drain, so there's like definitely a heavy soul count, right, going there. But Reflux kind of solved that problem. Only 1 Bastion as well. But also, he's running 3 of the 20k shield. So yeah, got some extra defense. It's kind of like an updated set 1 list is what I like to think about it. But yeah, seems pretty interesting. It seems pretty interesting. I like to see how this deck evolves. It's the only list so far we've been seeing, so maybe we'll see some more in the future. Right, and then in fourth place, we have another Magnolia list. Another Magnolia. This one is running just the full-on Gebreg, right? Full-on Gebreg. Yeah. Also running only 3 Magnolia. Yeah, this is, we've seen this quite often, but it just seems to be doing very, very well. Very, very well. Right? And oh yeah, I think this is the same thing. Copy this. Anyway, moving on, we have the JVGCS. So let's kind of look at here. So this was another team tournament. First one was a Pure Light, right? Pure Light. Just got the good stuff going. 3 turquoise in this list. 3 turquoise. But is there only 1 Magnolia? I think I've only seen 1 Magnolia. Right? Oh, no, not Magnolia. 1 Seraph Snow. Seraph Snow. Right, Bug Motors, yeah, I think only one, and then just straight into the Pure Light, and then they also played a Stoicheo, very sideways. So I think, yeah, this just looks very. Oh no, it's not similar. It's got 2 of the regurgitation, three regurgitations. It looks like, yeah, it's a grade 3. So 3 regurgitation in Stoicheo. So that is kind of lets him recur stuff from the drop zone. So that's cool. And then third is okay. Actually, are they making names? I think they are. I can't read this one. Is it Gaul? Yeah, no, just the last one. Anyway, yeah, so this is a new Bruce list. I don't know. I can't really read. Is there more of the deck? I feel like it's missing cards. But again, he's got we see the 2s, and yeah, there we go. Masaru. Okay, it's Masaru. Okay. Masaru. Okay, so yeah, got the Brainwash and this. So I think, yeah, we've seen kind of a similar list between this before. So is that how new Bruce is being built? Maybe. But yeah, that was the winning team. And then we had more teams here. So this is the second place team we have is a Nirvana list with Expectors. Oh, so this is the order list as well. So heaps of these order lists popping up. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. A lot of the order lists popping up. I don't know what to say. I think it's good for me because we still have a lot of Valientes. So guys, guess who's selling some, right? And then here we've got a Loro. Yeah, Loro. We've seen the Loro before. And then here, Bastion. Oh, another Bastion Prime. And this one is slightly different. All right, slightly different Bastion Prime list. Running 3 Bash. So ride lines here, maxed out on the normal Bastions, and then 4 Bastion Primes. This one has the Ragrill, so we've got the Alden Ragrill combo. Huge amount of counterblast usage here. Also 20k shield, 4 of them. Got 1 for Sato, and running 4 of the new Soul Blast 2 draw 1 card. So yeah, I don't know, like there's, I guess the interesting thing here is you're running the order that gives all your grade 3s boost, and like honestly, this card kind of works now just because of the amount of soul that will get depleted from your soul. Pretty much, it's very hard, I guess, to fit in like Dark Strain unless you're just happy to just pop it off immediately and just don't worry about boosting. Because again, your Rafale salts don't work, all that stuff doesn't work, so you're just you're kind of stuck not boosting. But you know, if you run the order, you can boost. So there's actually more reasons to run it now than before, I'd say. More reasons. You can see he's not actually running Refluke as well, so he just has no soul, right? He has no soul, except when he hits with a Facade, but he's only running 1. So okay, I can see you running the order, and it could work. It could work, right? Okay, and then lastly, we have just the number of people who took the like basically Hall was taken to the JVGCS. We got 12 Nirvanas, so a lot of Nirvanas, and 14 Pure Lights. So definitely, we kind of expected Pure Light to be the most taken. Like people are going, yeah, Pure Light is definitely the best deck. What's surprising is Magnolia. I think Japan is just liking Magnolia, right? Really liking Magnolia. It feels like the deck has kind of been sorted, right? While like the Bastions and the Bruces, no one's bothering with that. That's just only 8 players took it. So I guess that's pretty interesting. And in terms of tops we've been looking at, barely any Bastion and Bruce tops. So I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Of course, this is the first week. There's still a lot going on. In terms of all the results for the unofficial tournaments, again, we got the Miltai. I compiled them all, and DF also, I mean, English version. But yeah, so in the JVGCS, first was Bruce, Seraph, and Magnolia. Second place was Nirvana, Bastion, and Ruru. Third was Seraph, Bastion, and Magnolia. And fourth was Bruce, Seraph, and Bastion. And then in Hurricane VGCS, we had Nirvana. First was Nirvana, Seraph, and Magnolia. Second place was exactly the same. Then in the top 4, we had Nirvana, Seraph, and Magnolia. And then in 4th place, well, top 4, these are both 4th places. We had Nirvana, Bruce, and Meteor. So I guess it's just Nordlinger, right? I don't know if it's a Meteor World or not, right? And then lastly, in Hiroshima, the singles, we had the Baramagnus, Seraph, Bastion, and Magnolia. So that is all the results for this week. The first week of set 4, absolutely crazy, huge amounts of results. There will be more coming out. We'll do more updates later, just because it's just so interesting. I'm really hyped for set 4. Honestly, really hyped for set 4, because grade 4s, right? Actually insane. There's actually evolution to the game in some ways. So maybe in set 5, we'll see grade 5s. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of all the results below, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.